Hey, good morning, Donald, Maurizio, Jason, Jan. Good morning, everybody. Light crowd so far on this Monday morning. Already feels like it's late in the week. Got my alcoholic monster this morning. No, just kidding. That's a empty can I had sitting here. I left my other can in the other room. Uh, just brought it for a joke. Anyway, uh, how's everybody doing? Alan, good morning. If you want to chat with me while I'm on the live stream, all you got to do, click the link right down there, the subscribe button. And once you're a subscriber, you can chat while I'm live. If you're watching later on, when I'm no longer live, you will have to leave a comment down below. So anyway, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. I may never get one of these dang predictions right again. Although the track record shows that I tend to get it right more than I get it wrong. This presentation here intended to be informational, educational, and fun. I hope you have fun. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell anything, financial instrument. Otherwise, don't buy crap from gurus. Most of them are full of crap. Make sure you trust the person, and they get some stuff right before you spend money with them. I mean, let's be honest. And if you want to support me, links in the description down below. If you desire personal financial advice, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor who has a fiduciary duty to give you advice based on your situation. Anyway, all right. Yeah, I was carving a bowl yesterday, trying to on a lathe, and broke right off. Came over, smacked me in the face. It was awesome, mostly awesome. Didn't leave any marks, but caught a nice chunk of wood right in the face. It was awesome. Decided I was quitting after that, giving it a rest. Anyway, morning Chris, morning Larry, morning Craig, morning Arturo. Glad to see everybody. All right, I brought some charts, and let's look at what we got. So, hedge fund VIP less. This is I believe it's Goldman Sachs, has this tracker, let's call it. Hedge fund VIP basket and minus most shorted names. Look at that rip from July 31st right there. What does that mean? That means that they were going into the most shorted names, and now they've been shorting the most shorted names. That's what that means in this right here. So there's opportunity for another squeeze in those most shorted names. Now, one that consistently makes the list of most shorted, and most shorted is difficult to come up with. S3 Capital Partners tends to put out a list that's one of the most accurate, and consistently on the top of the list of the most shorted names is MARA, one of my favorite picks. Now, the stock price in MARA has declined greatly off the 20, dipped back down to the 11 area. And, I mean, Bitcoin got slammed too. So you have to take it all, it's like a big picture thing. You can't just look at one little data point. You got to pull it all together. So this is interesting too. Hedge fund VIP less most shorted, the monthly change, big spike, rivaling some of the biggest spikes we've seen in forever. All right, we have the 2020 spike. We have earlier, coming into this year, which we saw a massive, this one, we saw a massive rally. This one, we saw a pretty massive rally. And now we have another one right here. Be careful. This correction can be over at any point, and we could see it explode higher. Now, it can also continue, but there's some indicators here indicating that we may see this thing pop. All right. Watch out. Watch out below. Watch out above. Watch out. So we're seeing, FOMO fades. We're seeing hedge funds regross, which means short. And, hedge fund leverage has fallen approximately 2 standard deviations within the past 4 weeks, while hedge fund flows have gone from degrossing, which means closing shorts, short covering, right there, to modest regrossing, which means adding back shorts. So the markets could be somewhat weak for a little longer, And then we could see a very big increase. All right. We haven't really seen capitulatory selling, although Thursday, Friday kind of fit that bill a little bit for me. We may see another flush out to finish this up, but we hit lots of targets on Friday. Lots of targets. So just wanted to talk about that shorting and the potential. Beautiful move by Apple right to the roadmap line, right to that zone I talked about, gosh, what, for 2 weeks? Maybe? I mean, beautiful. And it got a green candle on Friday. We are pre-market up just 75 cents or so. This next move on Apple can take us right up here. This was a classic market roadmap move. Came up just shy of the target, bounced down. Always go for the conservative. I went for the exit. I bought back shares on Friday. Looking for a pop up to this let's call it 215 at this point. Conservative target, 215. Just under the circle. I mean, we may get to 220. That actual fib line comes at 219.83. I always like to go a little bit conservative, so probably 217, 215, 217. Now, the question is, how long does it take? Well, typically, the next move can take 3 to 5 times longer than this correction right here. The minimum, 3 times. So we had 33 days, so 90 days. All right, JT, where are you getting that? Right there, 33, right there, that number. You see it right there? It says 23 bars, but it says 33 calendar days. So we can see 90, 99, 3 months. Maybe a little extra change for this next pop right here. Now, does it have to go? No, it doesn't have to go. I mean, this is just it's just looking at the pattern. We have not been back down to this roadmap line since right back here. And this one, that one took for a good long while. That was a heck of a rally. Right back to the roadmap line and potential to bounce and go higher. All right. That was the end of the list. So let's actually circle back and talk about the S&P 500. Now, we pushed below the bounce point where I thought we might bounce. It happens. We came right down to the bottom of the box, right to the bottom of the consolidation zone. Market opens about 7 minutes. Right now, we're looking at a green open, about 10 points up. And we could bounce here and go up. It's just a simplified S&P 500 chart based on the close. We'll have resistance right up in this zone at this point if we do bounce. Just a little lower than we were before. If we meet that resistance and turn back down, we could hit the roadmap line. If we break on through, we can go new highs and get up darn close to that prior all-time high right up here. Wouldn't take much. All right, so be prepared for both scenarios. We could go lower, we could go higher. The shorts ramped up. That may lead us to another mega squeeze. All right, the market's kind of doing extreme things. Got to be prepared for extreme results. S5FI, let's look at it on the other chart here. S5FI came down right darn near, right into the box I thought we would come down to for a reversal. So if we reverse right in here, beautiful setup. Beautiful, beautiful. If things get a little more extreme, we may come out the bottom. If we get below 20 on the S5FI, that stock's above the 50-day moving average in the S&P. So 500 stocks, right now we're sitting at 33% of them are above their 50-day moving average. That means upwards of 67% of them are below their 50-day moving average. If we get to where we're 20 or below 20, that usually is the point where we get a strong reversal. Very strong reversal. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting darn close. All right? Getting darn close. And this isn't a request show, Hannah. Just to make you aware, the request show is on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. So this is looking for stuff moving today and general bias, what we can watch, what might be moving here today. So S&P 500 got darn close, right into this consolidation, right at the bottom of it, and trying to find a bottom. We could bounce from here, and this is the more complicated candle chart with more data, and we potentially could bounce right up into this 4,500 area, right up in here. All right. And if we turn down at that 4,500 area, we can come right back down here like that. So ES, looking at what's crapping overnight, what's happening, came up, hit the roadmap line. We haven't done that in a couple days. Last time we were up there was Monday, Tuesday. We need to get above that to turn the tides in the market and not just bounce down and make a lower low again. We bounce down, we bounce down, we bounce down, we bounce down, we bounce down. Got to get above, stay above. And then get above on the hourly and stay above. Still not up to the hourly yet. Got more rally to go to get there. And we may, that trend line of the lows that we broke down below, back tested, pushed lower, we're going to have to get through that too, which all kind of comes together in the same spot there. If we can get above that, so back above 44.40 on the futures. If you're not familiar with futures, ES1 exclamation point, that's S&P 500 futures. The cash index runs a little lower, but the cash index doesn't trade almost 23 hours a day. Cash index closes at 4 p.m. Eastern and doesn't move until it opens at 9:30 the next morning. So I flip to the futures so I can see what's happening, and potential for a little baby head and shoulders there, which may have already played out. If we look at it really close, let's see. Let's check this out. Right here, little baby. Oh, might be a fake out, not a breakout. That puts us right up in there. Look at that. If we go higher, we may find resistance right in there. Interesting. Anyway, all right. Morning, Dan. Morning, Val. Morning, Space Cowboy. Goose, my man. Lieutenant Colonel Goose. How you doing? Retired Lieutenant Colonel Goose. Billy, Philip. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, we'll get to the dollar here in just a second. And NASDAQ looking a lot the same. Need to get above this stuff, though. Came right up to the 30-minute and turned down with 3 reds. I'm not loving that so far. But a healthy retrace and a breakthrough, that would be a beautiful thing to see. So set your alerts right above that 30-minute roadmap line. If you're wondering how to get the roadmap line, just go watch the video. I've got a video, or you can click the link in the description. $5. You can get this thing. $5. Give you the code, give you everything. I even have an easy button in Discord. Anyway, you just click the button and put it right on the chart. Anyway, oil may be bouncing right here. Have to watch. We get a breakout above this, we're probably coming up to 94. But this could just retrace ever so slightly right up to this area, turn down at 8250. 8250. Marbles. Anyway, resistance right there. If we turn down off of that, we could come down to this roadmap line, this target area. Oh, there's the market. And so keep that in mind that we may see 8250. That was one of the targets from the upside where I sold when we hit 8250. And if we retrace down here, hold support, turn back up, that would be a beautiful time to load up long, because the target, we're probably going to 94 eventually, unless we break down below this support right there. Gold, well, holding up so far. Long-term bullish on gold. Short-term, path is unclear. We get below these lows from back here, In June, we'll probably do an extension lower. If we can break out above the high from July, we will probably start to rally up to this 2200 area. It's kind of the path right now. Bitcoin still hanging out below the roadmap line, above the low from June. We can turn back up, get back above the roadmap line, get going positive. This thing can pop big time. Bitcoin and Ethereum have brought themselves into alignment. They were slightly in different counts, if you will. They were Ethereum was more advanced and had a bearish potential, but now Bitcoin and Ethereum have aligned themselves. What happens when they align themselves? Everything can go in the same direction. The market was not, the crypto market wasn't really moving much because of the difference in, I don't know how to say it, the difference of potential paths forward. But now they've aligned their paths forward and they can both be on a bullish path at this point. So watching for the breakout very closely. Dollar. Hey, Sledge. Good morning. Dollar right there. Right up to resistance from the July highs. If we break back down below 102, probably going lower low. That lower low probably down to 98, possibly down to 96, 90, 97-ish. And we could see a bigger flush out. So watching for that. If we do break above the May highs, then we're probably going to go on a deeper retrace here of this move down that we started all the way back here in September of last year. Let's move all the way down here. If we break above those May highs, probably going to come up and test that 618 zone. Similar pattern to the S&P 500. These patterns are all the same. It's just a matter of zooming in, zooming out till you see the patterns. All the same patterns. This will be a resistance zone. If we break above that, we could see much higher highs in dollar. If we turn down there, we are definitely going lower low, and that sets it up for a bigger decline that would match and rival this decline right here. If we got up and we turned down right there, that decline would take us somewhere down into low 90s right there. All right, what's actually moving today? PANW, beautiful. This is a market roadmap. We're working on the conservative entry here, and I've got a little box here that I would love to see it break above 250, 274, 294 on the upside. That's actually a beautiful potential move right there. I think that was on the market roadmap watch list for the week that I put out yesterday. If you want that thing, $5 in the description. NVIDIA right here. Potential for this is to still go visit this roadmap line. I don't care how bullish people are. And if we look at this right here, we have earnings this week coming up. The price to sales ratio, 41, almost 42. The odds that this thing doesn't meet expectations are high right now. Expectations are wicked high. Price to sales ratio 42. I mean, we're expecting this thing to hit on all cylinders. I mean, price to earnings 225. Yes, they print a lot of cash, but is it growing that fast? This doesn't look like an exponential growth compared to the exponential move in the stock. And yeah, this AI runs on NVIDIA GPUs, but let's be honest here. How high can she go, and how high does she support? I mean, let's look at the past here. Price to sales 8.5, price to sales 14, price to sales 19, price to sales 21, price to sales 18, and now we're at 42. Does that make any kind of sense compared to the last 5 years? No, it doesn't. Even the PE ratio, look at that. Price to earnings, 116, and now we're at 225. I mean, that's some lofty numbers right there. All right, be careful. This is one that doesn't make sense to me at all to chase this thing higher. The pattern doesn't support going higher. The fundamentals don't support going higher. Everything is, everything's kind of saying that we could see a deep retrace. I mean, we're talking 30%. You're like, JT, no way NVIDIA can retrace 30%. But you know what? It's done it in the past. Many, many times. This one is a big mover. And it can just drop out. It's a heartbreaker. Be careful. All right, that was an exponential move. Exponential moves up. Result in tears in the beers. Crying in your beer. There, God. But I listened to everybody going along. Don't come complaining here. Now, can it go higher? You're sure as blanket can. I mean, sheesh. It can go higher, but the odds are it misses expectations and we see a massive drop. Be careful. VMware? It's pretty sure this guy bought out or something somewhere along the way, but looking pretty good. Nice little pop. This could drop on down to the roadmap line, but right now this looks like it may be on an extension. An echo move going out to 174, possibly 179 on the next move. Yeah, I'm not going to touch NVIDIA till we get way back down. Tesla. Beautiful move. Look at this. Potential bounce right out of the box. Look, I drew the box. I said the target. And look what we did. We break back above 225 or 226. It's game on, baby. That's the aggressive entry. Let me slow down. Walk it back just a little bit. That's the aggressive entry. We do have resistance right back up here at this trend line. At the 267 area. Like, that's a long way up. Yeah, that's a long way up compared to where we are at the moment. And if we get the extensions, we're talking 323, 350, possibly, if we get super excited, for like 410. You're like, I don't see that fib. It's right there, 410. Beautiful potential setup for going higher. I was warning about Tesla, probably going to get a retrace. We have retraced right down to the zone, turning up. We need some alerts. Let's get that 226. I may load up on some positions, looking out a ways. Now you'd be like, JT, how much time? Let's kind of figure it out. Let's talk about it a little bit. It's right there, 30 days. So at least 90 days on the next move, if not maybe 5 times that much. So 5 months, 6 months, it would be wise to, if you're going to play this with options, to at least get like 6 months of time for going higher. All right. And wait for it to prove it. Don't just jump it. Now, this is an aggressive entry. The more conservative entry up here around 267, breaking above that trend line again. Still lots of potential up into this 410 area. Now, do I think 410 is reasonable? The numbers I said just a second ago, 323, 350, probably much more reasonable to target. 320, 350. Let's be conservative, conservative targets. Adobe popping around there. Yeah. It's just consolidating. I mean, that's just sideways. Not really going anywhere. ZS down to the roadmap line. This is a potential entry above 153. Looking for 172, 183 on the upside. Pretty nice. FNGU right down to the target. That can be it. It played out. Head and shoulders worked. Beautiful pattern. That can be it. This correction can be wrapped up. I mean, we're right near the end. We're satisfied a lot of criteria that I was looking for. Crowd right down to the roadmap line, breaking above the box here, back up at 158, looking for 173, 181. Lots of good stuff here. SMCI right down to the box, could bounce here. Left a giant gap up there, resistance, and it could tap on down to the roadmap line here. This one could drop if NVIDIA misses earnings or says anything bad. Be careful. This one can drop. These guys primarily sell AI-based computers, So computers, you know, you think of like your desktop computer. These guys sell computers with like $15,000 NVIDIA GPUs in it. You know, these aren't the GPUs you go down to Best Buy and buy. These are like A100s, H100s. You know, they they look similar, but they cost a lot more, and they have like hundreds of gigs of memory in them. They cost like 10, 15, $20,000 each for each GPU, and then you buy a computer from Supermicro that has like 10 of these in it. So you're talking like a $150,000, $200,000 computer. That's what you buy to do AI work. It's in a rack in a server rack type mount thing. Go to the website. I mean, scroll down here, click the link on the description here, go to the website and check it out. Like you can make an order, supermicro.com right there. And you'd be like, holy crap, that's expensive. I've done it on the video here before. Pulled it up, showed the an order. Anyway, be careful on SMCI. NVIDIA rocks the boat at all on their earnings this week. Be careful. And TMV, that move is looking played out. We may see a retrace. Could get another one of these echo pullbacks. I would, that is leverage. Leverage stuff doesn't always follow the patterns, but we could see a pullback same size we saw right there. Would take us right back down to 141 on TMV. NVDL, yeah, it's another way to play NVIDIA. This is long. I'd be careful. Like I said, NVDS is going to be the short. If I actually click the right thing, NVDS. This one, decaying assets, just split 1 for 5. I don't know how price responsive it's going to be. It's supposed to be a 1.25 bear. So if NVIDIA drops big, we could see this one pop a little bit. But that roadmap line's right up there, so probably not going to go past 80. But that's a double, so think about it. How much would NVIDIA have to drop to make a double on a 1.25x? You know, really realistic target's probably something like 50, maybe 50. NVO. Wow, that's people love the weight loss drugs, but that one may retrace. Nice pop. That was right up to the resistance, right up to 1618. You would expect a retrace back to at least this level before we get extensions. Snow. Ugh, that just looks gnarly. Could this, I mean, clear up a couple things. This could be a bullish pattern, could be. But this price action right here, right in that circle, is not a bullish pattern. It's an overlapping, choppy, corrective type pattern, which to me says that we may see that before we can clear this up and go on snow. ALB, I keep deleting these extra lines and it keeps putting them back on. Awesome. So we've got ALB here and went a little deeper on this shoulder. As long as we hold higher than this head, the bottom, the low on the head, and we turn up and break the line, then we can work the pattern. But right now, not. I mean, you need it to break back above the head and or above the neckline. Excuse me. Stay above the head and break above the neckline to get this move. Otherwise, you're just gambling. The roadmap line's right in there. It went deeper than I was hoping for. Like, it was a real powerful power move. It had held up in here. Didn't hold up in there. It went deeper. And now I'm just watching. I got alerts set and I'm not chasing this. Not jumping into it. What the crazy? Look like a SPAC with some kind of craziness. Not touching it. NSSC, chopping at the top here, not really showing extreme strength. And that may lead to a bigger retrace. Could dip down in here. See how we're holding that 618 level. They're all blurry. Like the lines are the lines, but the zones are kind of fuzzy. They're always fuzzy because people are involved. So we could see a move down to this 31 area. Now, if we break above, say, 40, tides are turned that we probably see 43, 46. J&J, probably coming back to the roadmap line. Classic move. Right back like that. Apple, we kind of started out talking about that one. Beautiful potential. It's got to get going, though. I bought aggressively on the touch of the roadmap line with a small position. If I was going to play more and longer term, I mean, shares have no time. If I needed to buy options, I was going to play, I'd wait till a move up through this 180 consolidation right here. See how we made all those candles right there? Right there, I would look for a move up through 180, and then that would be an aggressive entry. More conservatively, a move up through the gap. Fill the gap. Get through the gap. On the upside of 191, play to 220. 210, 220. All right, Microsoft, this is the one I wanted to warn about right here. We may see, we came up short of the roadmap line. We could see one more flush out. Put that on the list just to warn about it because we came up short. We did hit the black line, and that black line came from these highs over here, just kind of drawn across, came down, kind of touched it, and potentially bouncing. That may be all Microsoft needed. It would be classic, though, to touch that roadmap line. We're very close. I mean, it can come up short. It came up short back here. Come up short again. Entirely possible. Now, if it bounces from here, if we turn bullish, if the correction is done, 348-ish, more conservative entry, 381, 400 on the upside. That would be the targets. All right, bias for the day. Cautious on a bounce. The bounce may continue, at least for a few days, maybe a couple weeks. We may rally right into Jackson Hole. And hopefully NVIDIA doesn't burn us down later in the week. All right. Hopefully. So that's kind of my bias for the day. And right, let me pull this up really quickly. These are the ones to be aware of right here. We've got Zoom today after the market. We've got Lowe's, Macy's before the open, Baidu, Toll Brothers after the close, Lazy Boy, Peloton, Wednesday morning, Advanced Auto Parts, Kohl's, Analog Devices, NVIDIA right there, big one after the close on Wednesday, Snowflake, Splunk, Snow. I was talking about Snow being kind of bearish. Snow, NVIDIA could go down in a blaze of glory. Be careful. DLTR, Marvell, and that kind of wraps up the week. It's getting a little light. The earnings season kind of tapering off. We have earnings almost every week. Somebody out there with like 5,000 companies reporting earnings. Somebody reports almost every day that the market's open. So it's one thing to be aware of, but we're starting to get a little thin. We've already passed it, and end of the quarter coming up into September. So we're already late August, got another month, and then we'll be looking at third quarter earnings in the fourth quarter. Crazy. Start all the way up again. October, November, December. Then we'll wrap up. We'll put the wraps on 2023, and we'll head into 2024. So thanks for coming today, and I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the alert with the bell with the doodads. Smash the like button if you liked anything I said here today, and I'll continue the conversation in Discord. If you want to come join me in Discord, like I said, I spend time with those who support me. Links in the description. $5, get you in there, and I'll see you later. Oh, my Johnny 5 right there. Johnny 5. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.